Hey everybody, thinking we're live now? Yes, we are. Okay, I was gonna come on and do a quick hit on just how everything's kind of taking shape and everything's coming in this way, and I wanted to take you up to Shreveport here for a second. We have a confirmed tornado moving into southern parts of Shreveport, so let's go right up there. We'll take off on this one first off because this is a serious situation up in that area, and I know a lot of folks from this area probably up there or have people up there. So let's go ahead right on the radar site here. I mean, this tornado is just southwest near Greenwood there. I'll show you exactly where, and you can see right in here, that is where we have a confirmed tornado right now. You can really see this thing pop right there, and that's when they issued that warning. And as this gets closer to the radar and you see that rotation, you know that thing is on the ground. So there's your debris signature, very clear on this one. So a definite tornado on the ground there just north of Spring Ridge. And this is going to be moving up toward Briarcliff, Colquitt Estates. And let's see if we have any other roads in here we can kind of get in on. Actually, what I'll do. This is south of 20 right now. This is south of the National Weather Service. I could see them having to take shelter, though, for this one. I'm trying to get you a couple of the road names here. Okay, so this is for a tornado warning up in Shreveport right now. This tornado warning is in effect for that area just north of Spring Ridge up through Shreveport, and this is going to include Colquitt Road, that is Highway 525, and then LA, let's see, 169. That's the one coming up here. And that tornado debris signature, don't pay attention to that. That's not what we're looking at. This right here is that debris signature. Let me circle this. Again, out of our area, but when I see a major population center, especially if I'm sitting here about to go live, I'm definitely going to jump on and show you that. And you can see that this touched down just west of Spring Ridge, and this has been now through 3 scans. We have seen that debris signature showing up, and it's co-located with the storm relative velocity, showing that there's a lot of turning in this storm. So there's not a lot of guesswork here. We have a tornado on the ground, and this is moving up Colquitt Road. This is now east of Highway 169, and it's right in this area that is circled right here, and it's going to continue on toward the northeast. And I'm going to keep that warning data up here so I have the latest on this. Let me pull up the chat. Kind of took me by surprise as I've been focusing on looking at things locally here. But tornado warning looks like we do have a new scan here, and this thing's right up by radar. So let's go ahead and check that out. Just pulling up the right one. Okay, so storm relative velocity, we can still see that there's something going on just south of the radar site, and looks a little thinner on the debris. When we're that close into the radar, though, I don't want to say that this has gone up into the clouds or anything there. It's entirely possible that's happened, but the tornado warning still for a confirmed tornado, and that is going to be just south of the radar site. Let me take you in and show you where. I will pull up velocity, and this area right here, Colquitt Estates, Briarcliff, Edgewood Village, Lakewood Village Mobile Home Park, Forest Village, Chateau Village. If any of this sounds familiar to you, if you have people up in that area, that is where we have a confirmed tornado right now. Now, this is showing up a little different on radar to me, so this is hopefully the sign that this thing is kind of getting wrapped into the rain, and we do not have, we are getting some weakening out of this. That's the hope right now, but you can see here why this doesn't look as crazy. You can see when that thing touched down just west of Spring Ridge, I mean, it was very evident on radar. And we're talking, I talk about the height we are from radar. We're 270 feet aloft here, so we're seeing very, very low into this storm. It's moving quickly, though, and I don't have an exact speed getting this right now, though. All right, so the speed on this thing moving quickly to the northeast at 60 miles per hour. This is the tornado warnings for southwestern Caddo and central Bossier Parish, and this storm is producing a tornado, or has been producing a tornado here in the last few minutes. Other locations include Ferguson, Princeton, Keithville, Spring Ridge, Fillmore, Cross Lake, Bodcow, Forbing, Bellevue, and Sligo. So if you are in those areas right now, you need to seek shelter. And this warning goes all the way out toward Houghton and Leslie. If you're way out here, you know, seek shelter, confirmed tornado warning here, and this thing's moving quickly, but hopefully we won't see this ramp back up. Now, that being said, there is a tornado warning for a confirmed tornado, so it doesn't get much more serious than this, and I'll be watching this closely as we go through the next little bit. I am going to, again, since this is not in our area, I wanted to come on and show you kind of what's going on locally. I'm going to go into our closer to home radar here and show you just a couple of things going on and what's going to develop here over the next few hours. You can see we've had some storms develop out ahead of this main system here up into LaSalle Parish, now moving into Catahoula and southern Concordia. Also some showers trying to get cranked up here south of the area, south of Alexandria into Beauregard and Allen Parish, and some stronger storms. As we get further west, we're getting better upward motion, better forcing, and we have these storms that are developing out ahead of this main line that has been producing off and on warnings for severe thunderstorms and tornadoes. Another thing I want you to notice with this line, and I'm going to put this in motion for 4 hours. We're going to go with a big loop here. So you can see it's more north to south earlier. And it's kind of just starting to do that thing where it stretches out toward the southwest. So as that happens, this is going to come through at a much slower pace, and we are going to see that threat. And you can see we had one other confirmed tornado earlier. We're going to see that threat kind of trailing along this line as it kind of intersects with the warm front, and it's going to last for several hours. So we're going to have a severe threat that lasts for several hours and a flash flooding threat as well. So that's what we're looking at locally right now, and I was going to get into showing you futurecast and all that, but I do want to go back up here and take a look at our active tornado warning for a confirmed tornado if you're just tuning in up there in Shreveport right now. On the southern end of Shreveport, this is just south of Interstate 20. This is inside or right along the 526 loop right there, and let's see if we've had an update on the base. The storm relative, not seeing anything. When I go to base velocity, which is actually probably a good move here because we're so close in, you can see, again, a couple hundred feet above ground, we're seeing 73-mile-per-hour winds being measured by radar. So these storms, this storm right here, which has produced a tornado already, we've confirmed that with radar. Now we've trimmed off the western part of that warning, but they've already seen the tornado. This is going to head right up across this area, right here into South Shreveport. I'm not as familiar with that area as I am locally down here, but South Shreveport, Broadmoor Terrace, Greenbrook, Bel Air, and then eventually this is going to cross highway or Interstate 20 up there just on the east side of Shreveport. So if you are up in that area, seek shelter if you're in the warning. If you are heading that way, it's not a good day to travel on many fronts here. So we got an update there. That was the base velocity. Let's go into storm relative. Let's check everything, see if we have the debris. I don't think that's it. I think that's too far out ahead. Let me shrink this loop down again. Go back to 30 minutes, and we can see that was our tornado debris signature. And let's see what we have here. It looks like there's still something showing up just southeast of the radar. It can get kind of noisy when you're right in there on the radar. I'm going to see if they're saying anything from NWS. It's crossing Burt Coons and 3132 just southeast of their office in Shreveport. And their office is right there at the radar site. So that's it right there. So they are very, very close to this one. And this is right where Interstate 20 comes into 526. There's 171 right there. Again, tough to really see if this is, still a debris signature, but given the fact that we have that rotation right there near radar and we still have some sort of signature showing up, we're going to definitely say, especially with NWS saying it is crossing Burt Coons and 3132 just to the southeast of their office, we're going to go ahead and say that this is still on the ground as of right now, or at least we want you to treat it that way. I am going to look at a different radar site here. I want to see if this ever popped up to where we could actually see the debris signature here, and no, we did not see it. And I mean, I'm looking up 8,600 feet here, so that's good news to not see it that high. It doesn't mean a whole heap of a lot. An EF1, EF2 tornado still could do a lot of damage, and this thing continues along that southern side of Shreveport right now. Let's go back to the Shreveport radar. This is the area we're looking at right here. Right there, south of the radar site in Shreveport, south of the National Weather Service, crossing Burt Coons and 3132. That's a highway that kind of loops around there, and that is where this is. That's that highway where you get off on 49 if you're going to Dallas, and it cuts you over to 20 there, so you can avoid all this mess up here. So that's that road that takes you that way, and that is where we have a confirmed tornado as of not very long ago. So this is, if you're just tuning in, this is in Shreveport. So this is not our area. This is not specifically central Louisiana, but when I see a populated area that I know a lot of you are going to have people in, and we see a confirmed tornado and we're going to go live anyway, we're going to talk about it. So there is your potential tornado, or confirmed tornado, I should say. It looks a little weird near the radar site. Sometimes you can get too close to the radar, especially if it's a more weakly organized tornado, or if it's cycling or something like that. I'm going to go back to the regular reflectivity and put this in motion, but a big time bow echo. And the thing is, this is up north of the warm front. Obviously, they have enough instability, they have enough ingredients coming together for this to happen, but I think the air mass down this way is even more volatile, because we're going to have not only the turning of the winds in low levels, we're also going to have more instability. And if we get any of these supercells to fire up out ahead of this main line, like in this area down here, that's what we're really going to have to watch for. And then we get the flooding threat after that. Obviously, NWS Shreveport not saying a ton right now, as they're probably sheltering, actually, as this thing crosses right by them. That's where the Weather Service office is. That's right where the tornado is. And just for a frame of reference here, let's go with storm relative velocity. From the radar site, we are talking like 3 miles. So it's just southeast of the National Weather Service there. And we get that little circle in there on radar data, because it has to spin around, and we're not going to be able to get everything just right in there. It's going to be, they block that little first part out, because you're just not going to be able to see things with the radar beam when you get real close to it like that. So that is our confirmed tornado right now. No updates coming in from NWS just yet. They are continuing the warning. I do see that. Let me clear this off, take a look. Just looking at a couple of products here. I want to see if this showed anything. No, it did not. Okay. Again, I think that is out ahead of this. Let's see. So that is the area we're looking at right now, over toward Fairfield, Cedar Grove. That is where this is going to be heading. Over the next little bit, it'll cross 171. I know that's kind of noisy and silly looking, so let's go back to something that's going to show us a little more. But that's the rotation right there. And in this last scan, I don't see it. I don't see much going on there. So we track along with the... Got to watch it from the beginning so we can kind of track this. But that's your debris signature down here. This was 12 minutes ago. And it looks like we might have lost that. That's the hope right now. They're continuing the tornado warning, obviously, but some encouraging signs right there. And this is what we're going to see, though. Along these line segments like this, you can get spin-up tornadoes. Doesn't always mean they're going to be weak. They can last for a little while. We saw this one last for 3 or 4 scans, so at least 10 minutes. But I do want to go back now, since that's out of the area, and I don't necessarily think, or I can't confirm, it's definitely down right now. I am going to show you the whole radar mosaic. That means every radar put together across the country, and we'll show you what's going on here. So here we are, Alexandria. Here's the big line of storms out to the west in Texas, and then we have these new storms forming out ahead, and that's what we're going to be watching really closely, because we know this line's coming through. We're not sure what's going to happen with these supercells out ahead, but those stand the best chance to produce significant severe weather in our area. And those have really started cropping up here in the last half hour, 45 minutes. So there's the big squall line out in Texas. Again, it's one of those deals where this was more north-south earlier, so if it's moving east, that's going to just push right through. If it starts to kind of tip like that, well, then you get those storms to kind of train over the same area. We have a pretty stout westerly and southwesterly flow aloft, so that is going to keep these storms training over the same areas for several hours in some cases. And with rainfall rates of 1 to 3 inches per hour, you get 3 or 4 hours of rain like that, do the math, you've got some flooding problems, and I do think we are going to see that threat materialize a little bit later on today across our area. So I'm going to go back to close to home radar and show you that line of storms. We have these storms that I believe will be severe fairly shortly. It looks like they are starting to gain a little steam here. And once we start to get local tornado warnings or significant severe thunderstorm warnings, I will come back live with those. I do want to show you one more thing. I'm going to take you over and show you the latest future track. It's the latest run of this, and I have not previewed this one. So we'll just go through it together. I think I saw the last hours was the last one I saw. So, you can see those storms over southeast Texas over the next couple hours, getting some steam together, new storms forming overhead. And there, look at that. I mean, just over the course of several hours, that rain is just going to continue to pummel our area. And it's kind of in two waves. So 2 waves for 2 different parts of the area. Now you can see the one up here across the northern half. That's along the warm front. Eventually, after several hours of this, that gets shoved south. But look what happens along I-10 late tonight. That is going to be a bunch of rainfall, and they've already seen a few inches of rain in some of those spots and some large hail this morning. So the severe threat is going to go for most of our area. Let me get you a time on when I think that will end. I'm thinking by midnight it's going to pretty much sweep through the area, and the latest trends have shown that as well. Maybe even a bit sooner. We can certainly hope for that. But behind this, I don't think we get a ton of rain up here tomorrow. So we have the flood watches in effect until Thursday. I think we get another round of scattered stuff Thursday, but as it stands now, I think that southern Louisiana is going to take the brunt of this tomorrow. Getting another update from Shreveport. I'll give you that in a second. And I'll take you through on just how crazy these rainfall accumulations can be. This is our high-res model showing just how narrow these heavier bands can be in some cases, and how we have this maxima right here from Faraday through Alexandria to Leesville along the warm front, and then as that gets shoved south, we're going to see that along I-10 in the morning. So 3 to 6 inches of rain, widespread, some isolated spots here, could get over 10 inches of rain, and that's all with what's going on right now. So they've lost the TDS, the tornado debris signature on radar. They're going to remove the confirm tag with the update on this next update on the warning. So they're going to take it and make it non-confirmed, but still keep that tornado warning up around Shreveport. I'll take one more look at it. Wrong button. All right, let's go ahead. These are the storms I'm kind of thinking get warned fairly shortly heading into our area. And one more look up at Shreveport to see what the latest scan showed, and then I'm going to take a break because I'm going to need to save my voice for the evening. Okay, so tornado warning continues. There's that new warning box for Shreveport, Houghton, that area out there, but we do not see that confirmed signature on this tornado anymore, so some good news for you if you are up in Shreveport. If you're traveling at all, again, I know some people, you got to get to work, you got to do things, but tonight from about 5 until 11, not going to be the best bet to be on the roads because we're going to see flooding rains and severe weather possibly. All right, I'm going to get out of here for now. I'll be back on with a live update later. Not sure if Tom's going to jump in today or not. I guess I should contact him and check. But for now, I am out of here. I'll see you back here in a bit.
No matter the weather, Alexandria Emergency Hospital is always here for you. Rain or shine, our doors are open 24/7 to provide the care you and your loved ones need fast. Every second counts, and Alexandria Emergency Hospital is here to help you through any storm.